I'm your number one fan.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
My mom and dad are gonna be...
I see dead people.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Okay. Welcome back to Killer Cuties Podcast.
That is us.
I'm KD. Not
I thought
we.
you were gonna say I'm here to talk about, like, correct yourself that only you were here to talk about me today. I was like, oh.
No.
I guess I'll just mute myself.
No, I was gonna say we're KD but it just didn't make sense. So
Yes.
personally am KD.
You are, and I am Cassidy.
Yes. And we're here today to talk about the both of us, VHS Halloween.
Thank you. Yes, I would love to be involved if I could.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's no exclusion. Well, before we get into it, you came up with a fun little game.
I didn't create the game, but I did suggest we play.
Correct.
Yes. Some people might know of the 5-second rule game, where you basically give someone a category and they have 5 seconds to name 3 things that fit into that category. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's obviously horror related, because that's what we do here.
/ Halloween related. Mine is, at least.
Okay, yeah. Anything that falls under the horror umbrella, I feel like, is fair game.
Yeah. And it's October.
It is.
We have to celebrate.
So true.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Katie's going to give me categories first.
Yes.
And I'll have 5 seconds to name 3 things.
Yes. Okay. I don't have these in any, like, particular kind of order.
Okay.
Just the order in which they popped into my brain.
Sucks.
Okay. First category is movies that are slashers.
Scream, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street.
4.93.
Oh, just got it.
Barely got it.
Barely got it in.
Good one. I was trying to do these, and I still can't think of a third one for some of them. So.
Oh, great. Can't wait.
Yeah. I just don't think that fast. It's not you, it's me.
Got it.
Okay, next one is Final Girls, the name of the character.
Sidney Prescott, Aaron Harson, and Emerald Haywood.
4.89.
Last names, too. That was crazy. I'm proud of myself for that one.
That was crazy. Oops.
They're 3 of my favorites.
Yeah, good ones. Okay, horror movie weapons.
Machete, hunting knife, chainsaw.
3.64. That was a good one.
Ooh, nice.
See, usually when you play 5-second rule, you don't get to know exactly how fast you did it. You just know that there's time left.
That's true.
Because it's
usually
This is almost arguably more fun. The Jordan Peele movies.
Get Out, Us, Nope.
Yep. 2.52 seconds.
Easy.
Less than
short
a second.
Titles too.
Yeah,
we love that.
Single syllable. Okay. Movie snacks.
Popcorn, chicken nuggets, candy.
Chicken nuggets?
Yeah, you don't have chicken nuggies?
No.
Oh.
But I'll give it to you. 4.58.
Okay. My theater has them. I've always thought about getting them.
I feel like mine theater
I guess it's
too.
not like
We've
a
got,
class.
Like,
I should have said like nachos or like pretzel.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. Pretzel. That's all right.
I'll take
That's
a half
okay.
point.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Halloween activities.
Trick-or-treating, pumpkin carving, and haunted hayride.
4.61. So close.
Haunted hayride. My roots came out on that one.
Yeah. So Iowa. This is a harder one.
Oh, okay.
Body horror movies.
Tusk, The Fly. No. Why could I not think of a third one?
The only ones that I would have thought of, like I still to right now, were The Thing.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, and Jennifer's Body, which is like objectively not a body horror movie.
I wouldn't.
Things are
but-
happening to her body, but yeah, anyway. Werewolf movies.
Dog Soldiers, Ginger Snaps, and An American
Time.
Werewolf in London.
In where?
London.
London. What was the first one you said?
Dog Soldiers. We haven't watched that one
Oh,
yet, but
I haven't even heard of it. Super niche one. I was really scraping the bottom of the barrel here. 2020s horror.
wait, like came out in 2020 or 2020 the 2020s?
In the 2020s. I'll start it over.
Okay, thank you. Talk to me. Bring her back and
Time. Weapons?
that's crazy. I went and saw 4 like a week ago.
Yeah, honestly, just spout them off.
I was trying to think of good ones.
Oh, that was your mistake.
I know, yeah.
Only so many of those. Okay, last one.
Okay.
You've missed 2.5.
Yeah.
Matthew Lillard films.
Scream, 13 Ghosts, and SLC Punk.
What is that?
It's not a horror.
It didn't have to be.
Oh, great.
I would have said Scooby Doo.
It was the first one that came to mind.
What is it?
SLC Punk?
Yeah.
It's like a 90s movie.
Wild.
Yeah. Devin Sawa's in it, too.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Fun. Horror adjacent.
Scream King's in there, for sure.
Yeah. Adjacent. Okay, well, did I pick any of the ones that you were going to do?
I was going to do, like, creatures featured, but that feels more werewolfy, so I'm going to leave that one out.
Okay.
And then one of my extras was Final Girls, so I didn't end up. That was just an additional one I had.
Okay. I get really loud when I play this game because I feel like I think better when I am loud,
Great.
but I'm going to try to not to do that. Also, I don't think I'm
Appreciate
going to be able to do this. I don't think my brain works as fast as that, but we'll see.
I believe in you.
Okay, thank you.
First up.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I forgot I have to do the timer.
Yeah.
First up, Alien movies.
Alien. Nope. Get Out.
You got it at like 4.8 something. I forgot to stop it. in
Is
time,
Get
but
Out
You did it.
a alien movie?
No, it's not. So you don't get. You don't.
okay.
Get one.
What was I thinking of? I was thinking of the one that's like there's only one word of dialogue in it.
No one will save you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But
Kind of similar
had-
titles, both going for that like 50s style of like, get out, no one will save you. Like,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Thank you for that small crumb.
You're so welcome. Whatever crumb I can give you. 2 out of 3. That's not bad, but you know,
No,
it's not good. But just kidding.
I mean I 2 out of 3 is what I'm aiming for at this
2
point.
if you get 2 out of 3 on all of them, it's
I'm
a self
happy.
win. Yeah,
Between my goldfish memory and yeah.
All right, next up,
Mhm.
female villains.
No.
Great.
How-
Jennifer?
what?
Jennifer's body? Ginger?
She's not a villain. She's
She-
possessed, and Ginger isn't a villain. She's a werewolf.
You can be a victim and a villain, and both of them were.
Ugh, fine.
Yeah.
What's another one?
Oh, Amanda from Saw.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was a hard one.
that was kind of hard. Well, what are you going to do?
That's okay.
Next up,
Mhm.
clown villains.
Can I name the movie? I don't know. Clown in the Cornfield, Terrifier, and another one.
Pennywise, mayhaps?
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. That's like the clown.
Maybe the biggest one.
Yeah, honestly. Who's the third one? Art.
You literally
Art?
named 2.
But what
Friendo
is
the
there
clown
like
in the
another
cornfield.
big one besides Art and Penny?
Friendo now.
Yeah, no, it is Brendo.
That's the big 3 now.
Damn, I was there.
You were there. All right. Characters who ended up being Ghostface.
Stu Mocker and Dewey wasn't, but I'll name him too. And I have no idea. I don't remember this
Billy.
kind of shit. Yeah,
Stu
Billy.
and Billy.
Stu and Billy.
Jill from the fourth one. Charlie from the fourth one.
Yeah.
Debbie from the second one.
I don't remember any of these names. The fact I remember Stu Macher is actually not that surprising.
That, if you didn't get him, there was going to be an issue. All right. A24 movies.
I saw the TV low as neon, and it's not. It is A24. Fuck. Well, there's my 5 seconds. So
Yeah, you're at 7.
yeah. I thought that was a neon movie.
No, A24. You got me the merch off of the A24 website.
Oh, you're
babe.
so right. You're so right.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Yes.
Mhm.
That.
Right.
Yeah. Everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah, that's true. You gave me a non-horror, so I would have given you a non-horror too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the least you could do.
Yeah. I've been
Your
giving you like
freaking
10
bones.
seconds. So.
Another problem is that I like have to talk it out, and then that wastes all the time.
Yeah.
I can do this game when it's like vegetables,
Vegetables.
safe words. Oh, broccoli, cauliflower, carrot.
Nice. 2.97.
Hell yeah.
And you were taking it back. That's crazy.
It was my time to shine. I needed
All right.
a little win.
We have 5 left. We're halfway through.
Jesus fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Movies featuring cannibals.
I don't know. It's too hard. I don't even remember the movie we watched last week. There's one with Timothy Chalamet. Feed Me or some shit. I don't remember.
We gotta work on your memory.
It's so bad.
There's Bones and All, Silence of the Lambs, Fresh, Raw.
Oh,
You
Silence of
watched
the
all of
Lambs.
those.
Raw. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I knew this would be bad. I didn't know it would be this bad.
I'm leaving some of the easier ones to the end because I kind of feel
I
bad.
fucking hope so.
Scream Kings.
Matthew Lillard, the guy who plays Billy, and the guy that you just mentioned that is also in that movie that you mentioned earlier. In 10 seconds or less.
Devin Sawa. You got it in 10.85, so you
Okay,
didn't even
11
get it
seconds
in.
or less. Devin Sawa, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, and were you going for Skeet Ulrich? Was that?
Yes, I was going
Got
for
it.
Skeet Ulrich.
Okay.
He is in
Cool.
multiple Scream movies, so that alone.
That
Scream
alone.
King.
Yeah.
He's the king of
Justin
Scream.
Long. We've
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about
that's a
him.
good
Kyle
one.
Gallner's a great one.
Justin Long was a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least I got 1.5.
Found footage movies.
Wreck, Blair Witch Project, VHS.
Nailed it. 3.58.
Hell yeah. That was at the top of my brain.
And
I kinda like found footage.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah. Easy.
Right?
Okay.
Scream Queens.
Jamie Lee Curtis. I couldn't even get her name. Okay, wait. Let me do it though. I'll do it. It's not going to be 5 seconds. Also, Sigourney Weaver, even though she's only in the one, and I think it counts. And
No, she was in Cabin in the Woods too.
oh yeah, you're so right.
And she was
And she's in that one.
Gorge. The Gorge.
Yeah, the one with the Apple movie. The
Yeah,
only
how dare
Apple movie
you.
we've ever watched. That's enough. Just those two.
Tab out there. Yeah. Who needs more?
Yeah.
Mia Goth. I would accept a New Age. Jenna Ortega. We've got yeah.
I wasn't even thinking
Neve
New Age.
Campbell, Courtney Cox. I'll accept them. Samara Weaving.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot.
She's in a new like not horror movie right now.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I didn't see it, but I heard.
Yeah.
Okay, final one. Ready?
No, but we're gonna do it anyway. We should have gone back and forth.
This is too much for you.
It's
See, it helped me because I felt like I got in the vibe of like answering quickly.
okay, yeah.
Stephen King adaptions.
The Long Walk, It, The Mist.
4.31.
Whew.
It's good.
Really pulled that one out of my butt. For the biggest Stephen King hater, number one Stephen King hater, That was pretty good.
Number one DNFer for Stephen King.
Yeah.
books.
I've actually finished more than I've not
That's true.
by one. Or did we read more than we read Shining and Sleep and It?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah, because I read Carrie and the Running Man, but not with you. So
Yeah.
and I think it is my 5th book this year of his.
Yeah.
That I still haven't finished, but I will by the end of this month.
You have 15 days.
My audiobook time just renewed, so I'm gonna stay the course. I can do this.
Do you have enough to finish
Yeah, I
it?
have like 12 hours left. That's crazy to say, by the way.
Yeah.
You're 70% of the way into a book and you still have 12 hours left.
Yeah. It's like 60 hours. Or it's like 45.
Yeah, I think it's in the 40s.
Yeah, 40 something.
Anyways.
Okay, well, that was terrible. You did great.
Thank you. You did just fine.
I participated.
You did. You tried.
I tried. My brain, she
had other ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
MIA. Anyway. Okay, well that's good because I was worried that I'd be talking too much before I gave the summary, but I didn't have much to say. So now I'll give a summary of what we're actually here to talk about, which is VHS Halloween.
Amazing. Thank you.
You're so welcome. VHS Halloween features a collection of Halloween-themed videotapes that unleash a series of twisted, blood-soaked tales, turning trick-or-treat into a struggle for survival. The segments include Diet Phantasma, written and directed by Brian M. Ferguson, Coochie Coochie Coo, written and directed by Anna Zlokovic, Utsupra Sic Infro, which again means as above, so below, written and directed by Paco Plaza and also written by Alberto Marini, Fun Size, written and directed by Casper Kelly, Kid Print, written and directed by Alex Ross Perry, and finally Home Haunt, written and directed by written and directed by Micheline Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman, their husband and wife. It has an enormous cast, being a 6 short film ensemble, and is a Shudder original, so no real budget or box office data. But it has gotten pretty favorable reviews. It has a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb, a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and a 95% critic score and 57% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, though it should be said that there are currently only 56 critics' reviews. So there you go. VHS Halloween. It just came out too, by the way.
It did. Plus, I think it should also be said that this is the 8th movie in the VHS franchise. So I think by now, like anybody who is just not a fan of the VHS format is probably not rating them anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like people who are gonna not like it no matter what, they all rated the first like 2.
Yeah. And
by now they're out. Yeah, they're done. They're not gonna watch it anymore. So
true. Yeah, the people who like it are the ones watching it. Yep, that makes total sense. Well, the audience score is only at 57%. That's another thing I was going to say, is it's almost a 40% spread.
Very large spread. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that's not surprising to me. We've mentioned it before, but it because of the format and because it's anthology, it's not like some people are going to like some segments, some people are going to not like the others. So it's kind of like, and I feel like overall, there was a lot of camp going on in this one. So if that's not people's things, they're probably not going to like a lot of the segments.
Yeah.
It's also, which I didn't even realize, but I think they're kind of breaking it off into like mini trilogies where it's like the first 3 is like the original. And then the next 3 all were based on 1 year. Like they all took place in 1 year. So it's like 99, 85, 94 or something like that. And then these ones, VHS Beyond and VHS Halloween, are like a specific theme, right? So like last one was sci-fi, this one's all Halloween theme. So that also might have something to do with it, where it's like if you're not into the Halloween theme, this isn't going to be for you either.
Yeah. I would be interested. We should have done this legwork to see like which has the most consistently good reviews.
Probably VHS 2.
That checks out.
VHS Beyond got pretty good reviews too, though.
That's the alien one.
Yeah, it's sci-fi.
I
But I would
almost asked if
say-
we could do a double feature of that one and this one.
I still think you should watch it. It's right up your alley as far as sci-fi goes.
I forget which
Quite
one. We were watching one together as a fun little team not that long ago. What were we watching?
I put on Beyond, but you had to dip out.
I had to dip
like
out.
right before the segment that I knew you were gonna like.
Oh no.
Well, actually, before the 2 segments that I knew you were gonna like. So
Shoot. Well,
yeah,
another day.
one day.
Anyway, I thought overall that there was some really thoughtful presentation to this one, like how they mixed. I can't say, I don't know if this is like, maybe they've done this in other installments, but in this one in particular, they mixed a bunch of different kinds of found footage in each segment, but it was all still like true to found footage and not at all confusing. So like the Super Sick Info one was like 3 different kinds of footage. It was them actually recording themselves being underground, the people being possessed, and like that footage. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
And it all still made sense. And then they also interspliced all the segments with one longer segment, and you could still follow everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which that is what they do.
Yeah.
There's always
The
what
big
do they call it?
segment.
like a foil segment where it's
Yeah.
everything kind of not revolves around that. I feel like they did that for like the first couple. Like the first movie, it's them breaking into the house and finding the VHS tapes, and then that's what we're watching.
Yes.
Which kind of makes more sense. And then they kind of steered away from that and just started doing like a framing segment, and then all the other ones spliced in between to kind of give a little break in between.
Yeah. I don't know that any of them like tied into each other necessarily, other than they were all sort of like Halloween vibes. But I mean,
Yeah.
even Diet Phantasma wasn't like really Halloween themed.
Yeah, not really. Just kind of sweets themed, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how should we do this? I have
I
fun
don't-
facts for like some of the different segments.
Yeah, I've got fun facts about most of the
not-
segments, I think.
I only have no fun facts for one segment.
Which one?
Fun size.
Oh, I
I
have so
couldn't
much
find
about
much.
fun size.
Great.
Wow, perfect. That worked out nicely.
Should we go segment by segment?
Yeah, let's.
All right, let's start with the frame narrative.
Diet Phantasma. The vibes were strange. The like visual vibes. It very much reminded me of I Saw the TV Glow.
Oh, yeah. They were definitely trying to go for that like campy 80s vibe.
Aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Which is not bad. It felt kind of a little try hard, but it wasn't
Oh.
bad.
See, I felt like they did the kind of campy thing the best.
In Diet Phantasma.
Yeah. Because it was so over the top and so funny. Not so funny, but like, I think that was the only segment that I actually did laugh at. On purpose.
You're
Because-
joking.
Because they wanted me to. Yeah, when the kid explodes, that was hilarious.
You don't think a girl sticking a tube of candy up her ass and her face exploding off of her was funny?
No, actually, I did not think anything in the fun size segment was funny.
That's crazy. I thought Fun Size was so funny.
I thought that was exactly how not to do camp. That's really funny that we had literally the opposite. I kept watching Fun Size and wishing I could go back to Diet Phantasma.
Oh no. I mean, I liked them both, but I was
I liked Diet
laughing
Phantasma.
during
Did not
Fun
like
Size because it was just so
Fun Size?
stupid.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like in a good way.
Oh.
It felt like a 45-year-old trying to write something that they thought Zoomers were going to laugh at.
Yeah. But that's what camp is. It's got to be over the top. And it definitely is over the top.
And funny.
Ah,
That's where
damn,
they
I thought it
lost
was
me
funny.
on. Hey,
A
to each their own.
sentient candy bowl? And the way she's like, I'm gonna get on the belt. I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna get on the conveyor belt.
I don't know. The acting was just so bad for me. And then the like 20 minutes of them just like saying what's on the conveyor belt was so,
Yeah.
oh, that's his penis. Oh, that's his balls. Oh, that's his head. Like I was like, okay, are we moving on yet?
Well, originally the screens on the conveyor belt weren't going to be there. And the director was like asking his crew, like, what else could we do to make this better? And somebody recommended, hey, let's add these screens so that you can see what's going through the conveyor belt. And like last minute, they added that in and it stuck.
Mm. The screens weren't really what bothered me. It was mainly the acting and the dialogue.
Sure.
Was not for me.
Sure. It was just so dumb.
Yeah. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. And I took Phantasma a little bit more seriously. I did think some of the kills were funny. Not all of them.
Oh no, I immediately understood what they were making fun of. Even like the print at the bottom that was like for internal use only. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's so funny because like obviously they're just playing on, obviously like they're killing children. They're not going to be taking that and using that on their social medias. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That one clicked for me. The little boy exploding on the glass in Diet Phantasma was the scene that Brian M. Ferguson was the most proud of.
Cute.
Yeah, he said in an interview that they had a Canon set up to do it, and they only had about 5 minutes to get it right. And the first time they did it, it did not work at all. And so they were just like so tight on time. So they were like quickly trying to reset it and get the shot. And it was the last like thing that they got that day. And he was like so proud that they made it work.
Nice. Cute. Yeah, all the directors did it. I forget what interview it was, but they did an interview together and described sort of the filming process as 5 days, no budget.
Mm-hmm.
And they specifically called out that you cannot be a mediocre filmmaker to have a segment in these films because you don't have time and you don't have money to do it. You got to figure out how to make it work. Interesting.
Yeah, I think I read the same article, and I thought it was interesting because I feel like they kind of had different takes on it. Like they all kind of agreed on the most part, but I liked that Ferguson had said, I think he said he only had 3 days to do Diet Phantasma, but he found it really liberating because he was like, well, if you fuck it up, it's gonna look like trash anyway. Like you're putting filters on it, you're using this garbage camera, like
Yeah.
it just has to be so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
And I think then they made a joke about just covering up any bad editing with glitches in the camera. They're like, you can't really do that in another movie. So
True. They also said that they had an absurd amount of freedom and they never had to cut corners when it came to their like ideas or whatever. All the ideas that they brought were just sort of like universally accepted as if that's what they want to do, then they can do it.
Yeah,
Nice.
It seems like they give quite a bit of creative freedom when they do these movies.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense because I think the more that they put out, the more people are looking for specific directors to do a segment. So they're going to be looking for that person's influence, not the influence of whatever producers that are just signing people on. Should we talk about Coochie Coochie Coo?
If we have to.
Honestly. I watched this one and immediately messaged 2 of our mutual friends and was like, hey, so you're forbidden to watch this. And that was before the 4 other segments that also dealt with like children in peril.
Pretty kid death heavy this movie is. Yeah.
But anyway, that's like the first segment, right? It's the first segment after Diet.
Yeah, it's the first like full segment.
Which they did say the directors again sort of had this like consensus of you don't see a lot of like that kids. They wanted to balance the like comedy and sort of like more lighthearted stuff with graphic. It's gonna get even the best of us, the people who have watched the most horror. You know what I'm trying to say? They wanted to put in stuff that was maybe affect people who are a little bit more desensitized. So that's where all the kids came from.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, story-wise, not my favorite. Also, pretty sure they used AI, so yikes.
For what?
Yikes. The photo on the mantle. It's like this like super exaggerated pregnant woman screaming and crying, and they're like, oh, she looks sad. So you can tell they put it in post because obviously she looks sad. It's the dumbest scene I've ever seen in my life.
What the hell?
Yeah,
I guess
but
I
I looked it up.
glazed over
a
that.
lot of people online were thinking the same. So
Yeah. Yeesh.
yeah.
I mean, definitely doesn't excuse it, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was just a product of the low budget and they skimped on it. So just adds to the fact that that's probably true.
Yeah. It's just, I just don't, I can't imagine it would take that much more effort to just have an actress pose for a quick pic.
You'd think.
They had
Unless
so many
it's-
other photos surrounding it that didn't look AI. So I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why that one? Why this sperm?
I want to see the picture that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember
I can
it.
send it to you.
Yes, please. And
I
don't be
have,
offended
like-
when I delete it from our chat
Oh,
because I don't want to look at it.
okay. I'm sending you the Reddit thread.
Oh, the link. Got it.
Yeah. People discussing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like the smoothness and the over-exaggerated expression that it's like, that tips it off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's something wrong with like her stomach and
It just gives AI.
yeah, it does.
It's
Gross.
the face for me, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was definitely not my favorite segment.
Me neither. The acting was pretty bad too, which I thought was funny because in that article that I think we both read, the director was talking about like the hardest thing is to make everything feel so real. Like you're gonna lose people if you can't make the dialogue feel real. And I was like, those two girls talking to each other was like the worst part of that.
Yeah.
Well, no, the AI was, but that was like the second worst part where I was like, their conversations did not feel real. And the biggest issue I had with that segment was that it did not feel, it felt like they were forcing the story to go through rather than it happening to these characters, right? Like,
Yeah.
them being like, we have to go through here. There's no other way. Like, it was just so
Yeah.
ridiculous where it's like, okay, they just wanted to include this scene and they had to figure out a way to make it happen, even though it doesn't make sense with the plot.
Yeah. I think it also sort of ended funny. I didn't understand the transition between the second girl like running away and like running over all like the milk or whatever, and then suddenly she's just like crawling up to the mother character. That
I
was
think they
just
were trying-
disjointed.
Yeah, I think they were trying to do like a, oh, she's accepting her fate type of thing, but it just happened too quick. That would
Yeah.
only work if it was a longer segment, right? Like,
Yeah.
in that short of amount of a time, I'm not believing that she's accepting her fate that quickly. I don't know.
Yeah. I think you're giving me a little bit too much credit. I did not read any articles. I only watched YouTube videos,
Oh,
but it
maybe
probably was from the same.
I probably just read the transcript of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
YouTube article. I do that
Yeah.
a lot.
But they did say in the YouTube interviews that that was another sort of like difficulty or challenge with directing a segment in an anthology is that you only have 20 minutes and you have to sort of convince people that they know the character stories. And they specifically referenced, I think, The Vanishing, which I haven't watched, but maybe that means something to you, and Blair Witch as these like slow burn. You have 45, 55, 65 minutes to like start telling the story and build suspense until like that big climax. Then you don't get that in these. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, definitely not going to work for every story you're trying to tell.
Mm-hmm.
They also, last little fun facts about the Coochie Coochie Coo segment. I read an article with an interview with the cinematographer, Powell Robinson, and he was basically talking about how he was in costume the entire time because he's the one holding the camera. So if they were changing cameras, he had to be basically like, it had to look like he was one of the girls. So he said he was like in those onesies, just like passing the camera to the other people.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
That is funny. Okay, after Coochie Coochie Coo, which crazy name, by the way.
It was quite the segment.
It wasn't bad leading up to that point, and I was on board with the Coochie Coochie Coo thing. And then it just went downhill.
I think, yeah, when they like first entered the house, it wasn't until things really started going that the acting really took a tumble, and then
Yeah.
it just yeah.
They said the audition tapes for the baby that sucks on the wall
Great.
were really great. Yeah. I can't imagine having to audition for that particular scene.
You know, it wouldn't be my dream role.
I would play a role in one of these movies.
I would play a role in one of these movies. I don't
Yeah.
want that role.
Yeah, no, not that one. I feel like the bar's not too high. Like that feels like an accessible dream for a lay person. Maybe one day I'll have like
be in
a
a
little-
VHS segment.
Yeah, VHS segment. VHS like 24.
24.
Just like a late bloomer actress, you know?
Yeah, trying to get in the game. Get your foot in the VHS door.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
You're
Together. I don't want to act in it if you're not also in it.
Got it. We're in the segment together.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to be in the same segment.
Oh, I mean, we
If you don't
probably
want to.
Well, we just wouldn't be working together if we weren't, so.
Oh, yeah, good point. Okay, we have to be in the same
all-
segment then.
They don't all get together and film them together.
Yeah.
They all kind of do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, next segment?
Yeah, next is Utsupra Sing Infra.
Mm-hmm.
As above, so below. So below.
So below. And speaking of that, we literally talked about it last episode because Dowdle is the director of that and Devil, which we just watched.
Mm-hmm.
And Dowdle also did the remake of Wreck, which
Paco
is funny
Plaza.
because Paco Plaza directed Utsupra Sik Infra and he is the director of Wreck.
Crazy.
It all comes
square.
back around. Yeah. It all comes back around the corner. Because it's a square, not a circle.
Yeah,
You know
square.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I feel like the horror world is pretty small.
Yeah. At this point,
in the grand scheme of things, it's all connected some way or another.
but no, this is the one I was talking about specifically that has 3 different versions of found footage in one segment and still very cohesive and interesting.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. He's done it before. Wreck is found footage. So it's not like this is his first rodeo.
Mm-hmm. And he said in an interview that Paco Plaza that he'd always wanted to be part of the VHS series, but until now he'd had a really hard time aligning his schedule to the production of a VHS anthology, so he wasn't able to do it until now.
Nice. That's exciting that he finally got his chance.
Yeah.
I do like that they have continued to include foreign language films in their series. I really like that. Or I guess foreign language segments.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun to me. I like that
Yeah.
they're not just limiting themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I think also acting just feels better not in English always. I don't know what it is about that, but this one felt the strongest acted to me.
I agree. And I weirdly thought the same thing. I was like, is it because it's not my native language so I don't pick up on like the subtleties of it as much as
Yeah,
because maybe someone who speaks Spanish would watch this and be like, that's shit, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're not like doing the right inflections, but I don't know because
Yeah.
it's not my native tongue.
Yeah, or like a tone thing. Like maybe it's just tone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's something though, because I agree. I thought this was very well acted.
Foreign films just like hit different.
They do.
Just always.
Yeah. The scene that Plaza said that he was most proud of in this segment was when, what's his name? Enrico?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you the name of a single character in this entire film. I only get 20 minutes with each character. No.
I don't know why I ever thought you would know. Enrique, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
I was close. Anyways, when he starts vomiting up the eyeballs, he said that that was a really fun thing to shoot and that they were giggling the whole time, which I think is funny. And he said that the guy who played Enrique was very skilled with his tongue. He said it's not easy to pop 4 eyeballs out of your mouth, but he did it. So he was very proud of that scene.
Wow. Fun.
Yeah. So that's something you do on every set.
Yeah. It took me I don't want to say like very unreasonable, but like a little unreasonable amount of time to realize that he had eaten the eyeballs of the people at the beginning of the segment and that he was then going to eat the eyeballs of the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took until about the time he was getting her eyeball out of her face for me to realize like, oh, that's why he threw up the eyeballs, because he ate them from the other people.
Gathered that in the last shot there.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. Wow, clever. Okay, I get it.
I mean, I'm glad you got there eventually. That's
Thank
good.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Embarrassing, but
you know what? Sometimes that's just how it goes.
Yeah. Not as embarrassing as the beginning. Well, first of all, not as embarrassing as me not being able to say the word embarrassing. But second of all, not as embarrassing as the beginning of this episode where I couldn't think of a single fucking horror movie ever. Except Alien after you said the word Alien.
It's the time pressure of it all, you know?
Yeah, it's the pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a high pressure situation.
Oh, well, I'm a little less embarrassed.
It's a high pressure situation. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh,
fucking
redemption.
unfair that you're going to be able to cut that out and you're not even going to have the little stumble that you just had. Oh, terrible.
Well, now I can't because you talked.
We could cut that out too. You can just cut it all
That's
out.
true. Sometimes it's hard to isolate it, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's just nothing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
It just has to stay in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll leave that in. That's a little one, just for you guys.
Yeah. The reality of podcasting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not going to be able to remove them all. Anyway, another fun fact about Utsuper Sekimfra.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Halloween costumes is a fire chief's uniform. So people are saying that that's a direct reference to Rec.
Yeah.
Cutesy.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have one more about the segment.
Okay.
Plaza said that the most challenging thing of making a found footage is always trying to make the audience believe that they would continue filming, that the characters would keep filming in the situation. Because he's like, a lot of the times they're just going to drop it.
Yeah.
So he said that's the most challenging part. And he also, just a side note, said that he really doesn't like it when the camera arrives, or when the camera's already there to capture what's happening. He said he likes it when the camera arrives late because that's what would happen.
Mm.
So that was an interesting fact because I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
Someone would whip out their phone when something interesting happens.
Yeah.
That's why you shouldn't believe everything you see on TikTok, because all that's set up. Why are they just filming themselves in their living room? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Use your brains, people.
Yeah. Or like at a fucking restaurant. Why are you filming yourself at a restaurant?
Well, some of them actually just do that, but
Oh God.
Yeah, I feel like that type of influencer, that might be real, but yeah, the ones where they're just like in their living room and then they're like, oh, caught this crazy moment with my dog or something. It's like, girl, please.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next segment is fun size.
Yeah.
The first thing that stood out to me about this segment is that it was the second segment within 40 minutes of the same movie that they said, aren't you a little old to be trick-or-treating?
Yeah, that was kind of the thing. Well, I mean, that's the risk you run when you have a theme like Halloween and you're just saying, hey, do whatever you want.
True.
Trick-or-treating.
So true. Yeah. This one was just so unserious. It was so unserious. I thought it was fucking hysterical. The way they screamed, it's not human. It's not human. It's not human. Like, yeah, it's fucking candy, dumbass. Like, that's, yeah. And I want this to be over. I'm getting on the conveyor belt was literally the funniest thing anyway. Like, why? Like, why wouldn't, like, your first inclination as you're trying to run away from sentient candy is to I just want to get on the conveyor belt. Like, what? Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, she was right. She could have avoided a gobstopper enema. So
crazy.
Should have got on the conveyor belt.
Yeah. I was ready for the gobstoppers to come out of her mouth. I was not ready for her entire face to explode off of her face.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I can't describe it. It just didn't hit for me.
Fair.
You were gonna give a fun fact, though. It looked like.
Yeah,
I
do.
The fun fact twinkle in your eye.
Yes, I do have a couple. Oh, well, I already gave you one of them. I have two, and I gave you one already. That the conveyor belt cameras was a late addition.
An after effect.
Yeah. I was bragging about how much I have about Fun Size, but it's really only the two things. The other one, the director Casper Kelly said that the character of Fun Size, that's the candy's name, started out much more complicated in like design, and they just kept iterating on it and simplified it multiple times. They wanted it to just literally be a simple humanoid candy. It took them a long time to get there, but the finished product, it was what it was. Simple.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I have about Fun Size.
Oh no! Next segment.
That's crazy. I thought for sure you'd think it was just so stupid that it was fun.
I definitely thought it was stupid.
Yeah. Seems like it.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I definitely understand that not all the segments are going to be for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. What is the joy of VHS if not arguing about which segments are good and which ones are bad?
Yeah, honestly. Okay, next. Kid print.
Let me just say, going from Fun Size to this one was the biggest whiplash of the entire.
Fucking crazy work.
Yeah, it got dark real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is by far the darkest of the segments.
Yeah.
Maybe the only one that did not lean into the camp of Halloween. They just went straight for child serial killer.
Yeah, and by the way, kid print is like a real thing that was like real, that happened in real life.
Not the murderers, but
no, sorry. It was a free service offered by Blockbuster in the mid-90s, and it literally just like it happens in the film. Stores had a kiosk that kids stood in front of. It showed their height, and they would use a VHS camera to record a quick video, and they would give it to the parents, and the parents would take it home in case their child went missing.
It's an interesting idea.
I guess. Like, just don't let your kid go missing.
Well, I don't think anybody whose kid goes missing was like on purpose. Well, sometimes, but
sometimes.
Not most of the time. I feel like they're not intentionally trying to let their kid go missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think ideally you want your kid to not go missing.
Yeah. I can relate to
kid
that.
Print. Yeah, you have a kid, so you know all about not wanting them to go missing. I can't even.
You wouldn't even know. You can't even fathom.
There's no possible way for me to know that that's a thing that parents would not want to
No
happen.
way. I'm telling you this for the first time.
Yes, this is brand new information.
Oh, shit. Most interesting and like kind of shocking thing about this segment was that in real life, the guy that plays Bruce is a minister.
I feel like the IMD fun fact for this was a little misleading.
Why?
Because they made it seem like that is his full-time job outside of this movie, which is not true. He is an actor. He does acting full-time. That is his job.
Okay.
But he does side work as a homeless youth minister. So
okay.
It's more of like
he is a minister.
Side thing. He is a minister, but I feel like the way they phrased it made it seem like they just like hired a minister off the streets instead of he's been in a lot of things, mainly as like side character. He was in an episode of Skins. Like he's done some stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Also, a homeless youth minister? That's on the nose.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's like his character in real life. No, hopefully.
Absolutely not. I would assume, I would hope. Fuck.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be like when they hired Chris D'Elia to play like the pedophile in You, and then he turned out to actually be a pedophile. Wasn't that crazy?
I don't think I watched that season.
Oh. Never mind then.
Oh, well, I mean.
It was season 2.
Yeah, I think I only watched one. Well, no, because I met Love,
Yeah, it's in that season.
and I only remember her name because it's fucking stupid.
I kind of like it.
No.
40's a dumb name. But it fit the character, so.
40?
That's her brother's name. 40. It's 40 in Love.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking tennis.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that until right now. Did they talk about that in the film? In
I
the
don't think
show?
so. I don't think so. I think it just suits the fact that they're like privileged kids, you know?
Yeah. Honestly? Yeah. Like, honest to God, 15 is a better name than 40.
Everybody tell us in the comments which tennis term you would name your kid after. And why is it Love? That's the best out of them if you're going to do it.
Honestly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like backhand.
No. Nope. That's the worst one. That's the worst one so far. What the fuck are we talking
I
about?
don't even know, dude.
Oh my god, Kid Print. Okay. Oh, Alex Ross Perry, the director.
Mm-hmm.
They asked this in like the whole interviews, which is why I have like the moment they're most proud of in the thing.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
I think the guy who did Fun Size said that his was the conveyor belt at the end when he's like proposing and she's turning him down as he's dying. He said that was his proudest moment, but I just didn't care about that segment.
Also fucking hilarious. That was also so fucking funny. I was like, wow, this is Cassidy's vibe.
No,
and I was
calling
so
her
wrong.
fiance the whole time.
So stupid.
I know. Anyways, Alex Ross Perry, who directed Kid Print, which is what we're talking about now,
Mm-hmm.
he said that his moment in his segment that he was most proud of was when, what is it, Tim, the main character, he's like sitting at the 4-monitor deck of the screens playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all the different videos playing at the same time. And he said that that's all analog. They shot those videos like a couple days earlier, and then the editor treated them, and then they put them back on the 4 computers hooked up to 4 monitors. And then they basically had 4 different art people just like pressing the spacebar to change it every time it needed to. So it's all done manually. Like they didn't use any special effects for it. They didn't like have the videos ready to go and like the already edited. It was like different clips that they just kept like pressing next on.
Fun.
Yeah. So he said it took like 3 days of planning just to get that scene.
Do you know why he did that? Like went to the trouble?
I think he said that if he saw that screen grab from a movie, that would make him want to watch it.
Well, no,
else?
I mean like why they physically went to that trouble to do that as opposed to using digital.
I don't know. Did he say that?
Didn't know that there was digital. Like he didn't know VFX was an option for the film.
Oh no!
So he put so much time and effort into practical throughout his entire segment, like including like all the makeup, the moulage, all that. And then at the end, they're like, "Okay, what VFX do you need?" And he's like, "Excuse me,
we're allowed to have that."
It was like that scene in We're the Millers where Eyebrow Kid's like, "You guys got paid? you guys got VFX?"
Wait, that's so funny.
Yeah,
I think it worked out well. Like it all looked good.
well, they did add a little bit of VFX in post, especially to like the gore of it all.
Yeah,
I don't know
when
that
you
they
have
did
that
that,
foundation.
Yeah,
We've talked about it how many times that's always what looks best.
yeah,
That's really funny.
yeah. They should honestly tell everybody that they don't get VFX, and then just kidding. We can fix it a little.
Next VHS 9 is going to be VHS VFX. Wow, hire me. Copyrighted patent.
Yeah,
You can't use that without me now.
Do it. Honestly, we should just take all the words in the dictionary, put them after VHS, and get patents on
Buy
them.
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All the websites, the domains, purchased. You'll never do a VHS ever again without us being involved.
And we're easy sells. We just want to be involved.
Yeah, just put us in the movie.
Yeah, I just want to hang out.
Yeah.
Get Mike Flanagan and Kate Siegel back. And let them know I'm available.
What segment did they do?
They did a segment in VHS Beyond.
What is it? One of the ones I would have liked?
Yes. It's the best segment of the entire movie.
Ugh.
Come on. Of course it is.
That's so.
Well, it was my favorite segment.
I mean, it's Mike Flanagan. Is she in it, or did they just do it? Did they just work on it together?
She directed it.
Oh, what did he have to do
it's
with
like
it?
her directorial debut, I think. He wrote it,
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
she directed it.
Cute.
Yeah.
Fun.
All right, last segment? Or did you have more for Kid Print?
Well, just one more thing. Perry, the director, did say that he's a father himself. So he said that the scariest thing that he could think of was something terrible consistently happening to children. And that between the inspiration from the actual product and that knowledge was how the story was born.
Very fair.
Yeah. I personally, and one of the friends that I messaged, Ren, mentioned, like, why are we desensitizing people to this? And I kind of tend to agree. He knew it was wrong and uncomfortable, and he still did it. But
Do you feel he glamorized it?
there wasn't like a story or a moral, really? That's what I struggled with. Was that there wasn't, it was just like they're collecting videos and he's using them to kill the kids. Like there wasn't, you know what I mean? Like there just wasn't enough like substance. I get that
it's
they
like
also
10
only have
minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, because it's a short. But I feel like he went more of like the slasher route of like, there's a killer on the loose type of vibe.
Yeah. But he did specifically say, and we're going to talk about is the next segment the last one? The
Home haunt, yeah.
Home Haunt. He said, and the married couple that directed and wrote Home Haunt said that they only brought the kid stuff in to up the gore factor and up the like. So, like they admitted sort of that it wasn't necessary to the story. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
just puts like emotional stakes in it.
Yeah.
People care more about kids, which is funny because then like every slasher ever is teenagers, which are still kids, but like people don't care as much, which is wild. But I don't know. I don't think I'm in the camp of like if you put something in a movie, you're like normalizing it or glamorizing it or like making it more okay. Because then I feel like I couldn't watch horror at all.
It's true. Yeah. I don't know that. And Perry said that he didn't think that he crossed a line. It just was definitely the hardest one to watch.
Oh yeah.
Very intense.
Yeah, definitely the darkest segment.
Anyway. Okay. Now we can talk about Home Haunt.
Okay.
What was the segment that they're most proud of? I know you know.
Wow, thanks for asking. The scene that they are most proud of was the witch's flight at the very end. The director said that was their favorite scene to film because they got to perform it. So, and I don't know which director actually got to do it, but they basically got to like be up on the rig and doing that shot and like hitting all the marks that they needed to. And they said they only had 2 chances. So 2 takes, that's all they had, and that's what they got it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Crazy work. The segment was inspired by an old book that Micheline and R.H. Norman had laying around in their house. It was written by 2 magicians and explained how to create the perfect home haunt. And they put that book into the segment as a little Easter egg.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I didn't notice it, but I'll go back and we can find it. From that book and other research that they did to sort of like create this perfect quintessential like 90s home haunt, they knew right away they wanted to do the like executioner / torturer scene. The classic green Halloween witch with like the long pointy nose or whatever, which is the scene that I complained about in the trailer. And ghouls specifically, not zombies. She kind of threw a little shade to Micheline, kind of threw a little shade to zombies.
Oh.
And was like, ghouls only.
No zombies, ghouls only. Why the hate towards zombs?
Well, it seemed like ghouls were more appropriate for the time period that they were. Like zombies are a little bit more new age compared to what they were after. Got it.
So they had to do the ghouls.
Yeah. And then in the same breath, they talked about how incredibly difficult it was to film the ghouls. So maybe had they just done zombies, it would have been a little easier. But
they could have had it all.
They could have.
Yeah.
Rolling in the deep.
My favorite fun fact for this segment is that the grumpy old neighbor, Rich, is played by Rick Baker, who is one of the most famous makeup and creature effects artists in Hollywood.
Yeah, his credits are fucking crazy.
Yup.
Yeah.
Men in Black, Planet of the Apes, The Ring, Cursed. We talked about Cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Enchanted.
The first 2 Star Wars movies. Captain EO.
Captain EO. And Thriller, right? He did Thriller.
And Thriller, yeah.
Yeah.
But more importantly.
Speaking of zombies.
Yeah. I watched that with my kid the other day. She wasn't a fan. It was a little too much.
Yeah.
The Grinch. Yeah. Maleficent.
He's done it all.
Yeah, he's got 7 Academy Awards, 3 BAFTAs, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Deserved.
Yeah. And then what's he doing in this movie? Just having a fun, spooky
Just
time.
hanging out.
Yep.
Maybe he's friends with the Pitts.
Must be.
Can you imagine they don't know him? He just auditioned.
Yeah, right. And what are your qualifications?
Any other fun facts for this segment?
No.
I just had one.
Okay.
Micheline Pitt said that the most challenging thing for this format was basically being limited by your creative ideas, because everything has to be motivated by the person holding the camera. So it's not necessarily, oh, where can my imagination take me? It's like, where can this person holding a camera take me?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you're limited to. So they felt like it was a little bit more difficult to try to stay in that box.
Yeah, so fair. Well, fun.
Nice. VHS Halloween.
Lots of segments.
Mm-hmm.
Should we rate it?
Yeah, let's rate it and then rank them.
Okay. Rate it as a whole.
Yeah.
Like we
I
would.
didn't rate them individually.
Oh, okay. How scary did you think it was?
I give it a 0.5. I feel like most of the segments were like a little goofy, a little campy.
Yeah.
And then the one segment that wasn't really scary. It was more another category here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I gave it a 1.5.
Oh, okay.
Some were obviously more intentionally scary than others.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I think Kid Print was equally the scariest and also the most of the other category. Yeah. Also Coochie Coochie. The beginning of Coochie Coochie had me for a minute.
When they're like peeking around corners and shit.
Yeah. What?
I was just going to say, I think I will give it like a 1.
Okay.
Because I will say, when the main guy is like sitting at the monitors in Kid Print, I did keep thinking like, look around, get up. Like, why are you just sitting there when this is going on? Like, leave. Why are you still here? So that did make me a little anxious.
Yeah. Definitely anxiety inducing.
Mm-hmm.
Someone made a comment. I don't remember if it was on Reddit or actually it might have been on YouTube on the some of the interviews I was watching about how this movie's only scary if you've never seen a horror movie. And I felt like that sold it a little short. But yeah, anyway, 1.5.
Nice. How sexy did you think it was?
I didn't. I gave it a 1, mostly for fun size and the stupid looking witch. Because it's still a witch.
True.
But like that honestly feels high. So, ugh. You?
Yeah, I gave it a 0.5. I feel like maybe one of the least sexy Halloween movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah. It was, you like you said, there were a couple moments of potential and then they just all got brought down by everything else, so it didn't do it.
Yeah. Okay, well, how fucked up did you think it was?
I gave it a 1.5, and the entire full point is just for Kid Print. That was disturbing.
Not any of the other kids getting killed stuff? Just Kid Print? Because there's 4 segments with pretty significant kid deaths.
Yeah, but I feel like in Diet Phantasma, it was so like it was just played for laughs. Like it wasn't that serious. And then where else do kid? Oh, I guess maybe I'll give it a 2, half a point for the Coochie Coochie Coo.
The babies.
The fetuses. Yeah, that was a little bit much.
And Home Haunt has several children being killed in pretty graphic ways.
I don't know why that one didn't bother me.
It's a little kitschy.
Yeah, it wasn't. I feel like because the
I wouldn't
tone of
blame
it
you.
wasn't as dark as Kid Print.
Yeah.
Where it was like, okay, like this goofy dad and his kid, and like the acting was not very good either. So like that was kind of like, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, that's totally fair. The
And
tone,
also, yeah, anything coming after Kid Print was kind of like, it doesn't
Isn't
seem
so
that fucked
bad.
up anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
I gave it a 4.
Okay, yeah.
Lots of children in peril. I don't like that. Kid Print alone. Holy fuck. I didn't want to watch it. And the directors all admitted in that one interview that they were going for fucked up. Like they were trying to make people who are usually unflappable flap. So, yeah. And I think even the kid stuff notwithstanding, like this is still a pretty gory film. And when you do add the kid stuff in, it's just like, it's a lot. So, 4.
Yeah.
One of the higher ones, definitely.
Yeah. All right, overall, what did you think?
I definitely think there was more to like about this one than there was to dislike. And that is impressive when you have 6 completely different stories happening.
Yeah.
I mentioned already that I was impressed by the creative use of different kinds of footage. And it was all still very easy to understand. And I thought that was very thoughtful and impressive. I was never lost or confused. None of the segments were bad. A couple of them were above average. So I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 overall.
All right, we like to see it.
Yeah. It was fun.
Nice.
It was a good time.
I'm glad.
Thanks. How about you?
I agree. I liked more segments that I didn't like. Yeah, you kind of always have to go into a VHS movie being like, all right, I might not like all of these, but you got to give the next one a chance, you know? Because after Coochie Coochie Coo, I was like, uh-oh, this might be bad. But yeah, I think that and Fun Size were the only 2 that I like wasn't a fan of, but the other 4 I liked. So yeah, overall, I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Cute.
Yeah, not that far off. This is a fun movie.
Yeah. Worth the watch.
I like the VHS movies. They're fine. Except for the 3rd one, but we all know that.
I don't know that.
Yeah, everybody
I
who's seen
believe
it
you.
knows.
I definitely believe you.
I'm sure that there are some like VHS viral defenders out there, so it's not me, but
Yeah. Clearly.
anytime there's a bad movie, there's gonna be people defending it with everything they have, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. Fun VHS movie. Can't wait for VHS 9.
Yeah. Coming to a theater near you. Probably not. It'll probably be on Shudder.
Coming to a Shudder near you.
Yeah. I didn't even watch it on Shudder. I watched it on AMC Plus.
AMC Plus partners with Shudder, so if you have AMC Plus, you have everything on Shudder.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, should we rank the segments?
I think so, yeah.
Least favorite to favorite.
Yeah. Okay, you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm wrong because I have the number 6 on here twice. In last place, I ranked them or rated them also, so I'll give you that too. I gave it a 1 out of 5. Kid
You
Print.
said you didn't hate any of them.
Well, I hated watching it. It was probably still a good segment, but
1 out of 5. Damn.
I had to rate them, like rank them, like rate them to rank them. In 5th place, with a 2.5, significant jump. Coochie Coochie Coo. In 4th place, Phantasma, which feels bad, but it's my truth. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
You gotta stick with your truth.
Yeah. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Also 3, and this is why I was contemplating, because I also gave this one a 3 out of 5, but still had to rank them somehow. Home Haunt was a lot better than I thought it was going to be based on the trailer. It was just a lot more fun than I was expecting. And then in 2nd place, Utsupra Sikimfra, 3.5 out of 5. And in 1st place, Fun Size, I gave a 4 out of 5.
That's crazy.
It was so goofy. I had so much fun watching it.
Our rankings are wildly different.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what.
Yeah. Okay, tell me.
All right. Last place, Coochie Coochie Coo. AI usage, automatic last place.
Sure.
You lose. In 5th place, which would have been 6th place if Coochie Coochie Coo didn't use AI, by the way. These would have been switched. Fun size.
Yeah.
I didn't, it was not for me. Not my sense of humor at all. And then 4th, I have Home Haunt. After that, like 4 and up, I liked all of them, so.
Yeah.
I didn't rate them all individually, but yeah, I thought it was fun concepts. The effects were pretty good. The acting dialogue wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. He couldn't even pronounce Samhain correctly. He said
They never
Samhain.
can.
Yeah.
They never can, Katie.
Yeah.
They never can. In 3rd, I have Utsuprasik Infra.
Okay.
Very well acted. And I'm gonna think about it every time I have a tummy ache.
Mhm.
That didn't tip you off either, the fact that he kept saying his stomach hurt?
That he had
And then
eaten the eyeballs? No, it did not.
Well, no, but that and then the vomiting of the eyeball. Okay. You know what? That's fine. Sometimes it just doesn't click. In 2nd place, I have Diet Phantasma. I liked that one a lot. I liked honestly, it's not even a horror segment. That's literally just how Diet Coke trials work. Like, that's just... that's how
I believe it.
corporations run. And yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I liked the cheesy vibes. I liked the humor in it. I liked the kind of critique on capitalism. All of them just like the ghosts breaking containment and him being like, put it on the shelves. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. And then my favorite was Kid Print, which was your least favorite.
That checks out.
Listen, but we know that I like stories that are more grounded, and VHS doesn't do that a lot. So it actually was very surprising to me. Not only the tone shift, because it was so different than everything else that I was like, oh shit, like it just got serious.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, and then also the aspect of like there was really no supernatural or paranormal aspect to it at all.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. I feel like VHS does that quite often. So to have a really grounded story, which is scarier to me personally.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Although I do wonder, how did they explain that away? Because in the end they're like, oh, we caught the guy, but he was stabbed and beaten to death, but then the kids were also dead. So like, how did they think he died?
Well, I mean, maybe it was just
know.
like a battle royale at the end, and then everybody died.
Yeah, I guess that's probably how they. Again, we don't know how the kids died because it was off camera. So
yeah, thankfully, they gave us that one small mercy. But yeah, and I find a little solace in the fact that it probably only lasted for another week or two until they realized that there was still another killer, and then finally got him. So
yeah, they're really setting us up for Kid Print 2.
Oh God,
2 Kid 2 Print. All right, how do we want to do Would You Survive? Maybe if you think you would survive more segments than you would die in, then you live.
Okay,
if you think you would die in more, then you're dead.
Yeah, let me just I'm gonna just plus and minus real quick. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not even done, but I'm living.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm
just
living.
Quick rundown.
Yeah.
Speed run.
Okay, I'm living through Phantasma because I'm on the other side, unfortunately. I'm a corporate girly myself, so oops. Coochie Coochie Coo, I'm living because I'm not going in that house.
Right.
So that easy. And if I went in, I would get out immediately.
Yeah.
I'm dying in Super Sync Infra.
Okay.
That just there wasn't a lot of living.
Yeah.
Fun size, I live because I'm only taking the one candy. I am not greedy.
Rule follower we got over here.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that segment also had kids dying technically at the end. Kid Print, I'm living because I'm an adult.
Great, yeah.
And Home Haunt, I'm dying because everybody does. So I live in 4 and die in 2.
Great.
Yeah. I'm like strong living.
We got a strong liver over here.
Yeah. Not something that most people would say about my liver, but
that's good. I like that.
Okay, what about you?
Diet Phantasma, living. Unfortunately, I am also if I'm putting myself in the situation, I have to be on the other side because I don't drink soda. So like, why would I be
Yeah.
in a soda trial?
Fair.
But I do believe that I would be reporting them. I would not stay silent
No, of course
of
not.
the children dying. I'd be getting laid off in a week because they'd be firing me for whistleblowing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, then Coochie Coochie Coo, I agree. I'm not going in the house. That creepy door opens. There's no sidewalk. This house just appeared in the middle of nowhere. No, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, strange.
I'm out. Utsuprasik Infra. Maybe if I'm at a haunted house with my friends and they're like, "Oh, there's a creepy signa at the wall," like, don't say it out loud. I'm probably gonna say it out loud.
Yeah.
I know myself well enough to know that I am in fact that person. I am probably the type of person who would answer a phone that wasn't connected just for the laughs of it all. So unfortunately, I fear I may be killing people and eating their eyes because I get possessed.
Mm-hmm.
But I still live.
Do you live?
He's alive at the end.
Is he though? Is he
He's walking around.
his body possessed? He's dead, but his body
I
remains.
think he's still in there.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Half a point. Fun size, I agree. I am one of those people who only takes one because I think it's kind
polite.
of them to do that, and they don't have to do that, right? Like they're putting trust in their neighbors.
Yeah.
If it was like a Walmart that put it out, whole bowl, mine.
Yeah.
But my neighbors, I'm taking one.
Yeah.
Kid print, yeah, I'm an adult. So, kind of easy.
Easy.
Cop out. But yeah. And then home haunt, I'm probably not going into someone's home haunt. In fact,
Oh, no?
I used to live next door to someone who did it every year and I never went because I thought, that's weird. Why would I go inside a stranger's house?
Okay, yeah. Oh, see, all the home haunts that
I
I've
don't know
been
my
to,
neighbors.
fair. All the home haunts I've been to haven't been like in the actual house. It's been like the garage and like in the backyard.
This was like a walk on in the house, front door into the basement. And I was like, no.
Weird.
I shan't be doing that.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, I saw people coming out, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. We have some really good ones. And we have like Christmas ones too. But it's like their shed, their backyard, their garage. It's not like in their like living spaces.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm
Crazy.
okay. Thank you so much, though.
Yeah.
Cool, we both live.
Good. Excellent. You live a little bit better than I do. But all in all,
we live anyway.
We're alive.
Yeah.
It's all we can ask.
Well, no, we don't live together. Or like in the same area. So I'm like, if we're hanging out, I'm not letting you go into the home haunt anyway, so you're living, but
there you go. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
We live.
We live. Incredible. All right. Do you want to predict next week's movie?
Sure.
All right. Next week, we're going to be talking about scary stories to tell in the dark.
Okay. I think I remember 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
I think. There's the one with like the ribbon. Right? Is that one of them?
Yeah, I think he includes a story like that.
Okay. And then is the dog one from that?
Where it licks your hand?
The lick, yeah. Is that a scary story that you tell in the dark?
Is it from the books or is that a scary story you tell in the dark? Is that cheating though? You're supposed to be guessing.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have to figure out how to connect those 2 seemingly very different stories.
That's true. I don't believe that is in the book. That's just an urban legend.
Okay.
Put that in your back pocket for when we watch Urban Legend.
Okay. Will do.
Write that down.
I mean, I'm not going to remember it, so. Okay. Well, I do know that it's like an overarching story with the scary stories that you tell in the dark sort of like woven in because you just told me that like 45 minutes ago. Or oh my God, an hour and 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, we've been yapping.
Jesus, fuck. I mean, we had to talk about 6 different movies.
We did.
And I don't know. It's probably a historian and he's learning about all of these different stories, and he's like, there's no way they can be true, but he's slowly finding out that each one is true, and he's living through them all. Yep. And
Does he live through them all?
Yeah, he has to, because then he compiles the book. He writes the book about all the stories, and it's the one, and then it's Scary Stories You Tell in the Dark. What is it called?
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh, okay, perfect.
By Alvin Schwartz.
Yeah, the movie is about Alvin.
That's him.
Yeah, Alvin is the one in the movie.
Great.
I mean, an actor portrayal. Isn't like actually.
Yes,
just
it's
to be
not
clear.
actually Alvin Schwartz. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Mainly because he's dead, but
Oh God. that checks out though. I feel like that book's been around for a really long time.
yeah.
Since before we were kids, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like they were like 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Probably 80s. Because I think he died in the 90s.
Yeah, and I feel like our parents had them also.
Yeah. Crazy books for kids, by the way. Whew.
Yeah, the ribbon one, if that's one of them, that's like inappropriate.
Well, the girl with the green ribbon is like, I think that predates his stories. I think he just adapted that for the... I think. But that story's been adapted quite a few times.
Well, anyway.
Cool. Kind of. Like, not too far off.
Oh, good.
Not right, but, you know.
Yeah.
You will see some of the stories.
Good. Amazing. And it's not an anthology, because that's what I had asked. Was like, well, wouldn't it be an anthology? But
no, it's just taking the elements from the story and putting them together.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, is it rated R?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, cool. Well, I'm
Anyway.
excited to watch it. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Good. Fun. Feels like a fun, spooky
Technically-
Halloween movie.
Yeah, technically you picked it too. I gave you an option between two Halloween-themed movies since it's Halloween month.
What was the other one? Haunt?
We'll get around to that one eventually.
Oh, yeah, just looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't like it as much as I would assume I like the other one.
Oh, okay. What did we tell them to say in the comments?
I don't think anything. I don't think we've said a single thing tonight.
No, I did say one thing to let us know in the comments, but now I can't remember what it was.
Oh, shoot. Well, tell us your
Yeah.
favorite segment.
Tell us what I told you to tell me in the comments.
Yeah.
And then-
Along with your favorite segment.
Yes,
I'm
rank the
interested in
segments.
knowing what your favorite segment
Tell Katie why I'm right and she's wrong.
is. Yeah.
And if you think Katie was right, I don't want to hear it. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
No, please tell us who you agree with, what your rankings are. Please feel free to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yay. Bye.
Bye.